Hey everyone, Scooby-Doo here. I'm going to start my Boba Fett project. Just want to show you what it looked like before I get started. That's the quarter scale Boba Fett. You can see I still haven't even taken off some of the stuff from his gauntlets. I haven't gone through his hands or really any of his poses. And this is the shelf he's going on. If you notice, I went ahead and cut a very crude hole in here. I don't have any real cutting tools or anything. This is a Sarlacc. This is from the Legacy collection, and I actually just got that parted out off of eBay. Also have some sand, another empty container. I have moldicine plaster, which I've never used before, and some extra little tools. So I'm gonna experiment a little bit with this. I've never used this stuff. I'm not really much of a hobbyist, even though you would think I am, because I do a lot of painting on my stuff and my Star Wars wall, but really I'm not. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I finished putting on the moldicine plaster and I mixed it with sand. Don't know if you can do that or not. Don't know how it's gonna affect how it sets after it dries or how it's gonna look. Here it is so far. A lot of it's still wet, so you're going to have the different colorations to it. Also, too, I don't know if the plaster is going to make the shelf too heavy. I'm not going to be able to put it back up on the wall. That's another thing. So this is totally an experiment at this point. And so now I'm going to let this dry for a day, come back to it. My original plan was going to be using spray glue in an aerosol can and just putting down some sand, spraying some more glue, putting down some more sand, but I wanted to get some contour. I needed to build up some areas. Oh, also too, I actually painted inside of there so it'd be black. I do have the other extension that goes in there. I just haven't put it in there yet. So there we go. Also too, I purposely left this open because I wanted to have the sand kind of coming out towards his emblem, but I left it. Alright, so we're going to let this set for a day and see how it looks and see if maybe then I can use some of that spray glue with some extra sand to give it some more texture, or if it just comes out perfect the way it looks now. Alright, see you back in 24 hours. Hey everyone, Scooby-Doo here. So now with the review of the quarter scale Boba Fett from Hot Toys. Hope I got that right. Here he is posed on the shelf. See, there's the Sarlacc down below. It's the Boba Fett. I think he looks really cool, especially the way I have him posed in my somewhat diorama shelf. Now, as far as the review goes, I'm going to point out a couple of the good things right away, and then we'll just go to all of the negative. The base it comes with is awesome. Absolutely awesome. They did a great job with that. The detail, most of the detail on the Boba Fett is really cool. This is my first quarter scale. I will tell you that I do prefer the 6 scale now that I've purchased a quarter scale. The other positive is just that they made it. You know, it's really cool to have these Star Wars figures, and it's great that Hot Toys and Medicom and Showtime, Sideshow, make these figures so we can have displays. I think that just about covers it. On the negative, he's really hard to pose. Now, I understand he's got armor on and stuff, but he's just hard to pose. The ankles on my particular Boba Fett are really weak, so you really can't even stand him up without having an actual stand, because his ankles will give way and he'll either fall forward or backwards. So that's a flaw. Now that could be an individual one. Other people could have ones that aren't that way, but on mine the ankles are really weak, so I can't even stand them up without a stand. Let's see. The Wookiee braids totally lame. Okay, he's weathered, his cape is tattered, his armor obviously has been through hell, but yet his Wookiee braids are brand new. Brand spanking new. It looks more like doll hair. Bunch of braided doll hair, that's all it is. So I would have liked to have seen them maybe make it look a little dirty, considering everything else on him is kind of dirty, but for some reason his braids are brand new. So that was a miss. The jetpack on the back, terrible design as far as mounting it. You see here, there's two hooks. It's not the hardest thing to put on, but it's also not the easiest thing. So I think that's pretty gay. Plus also too, if you're actually grabbing it, it'll come off really easy. I'm barely touching it because I don't want it to come off because it's a pain in the ass to get back on. They could have put a heavier magnet or a stronger magnet on the back to hold it, or I don't know how else they would have done it, but kind of lame. Also, to the stand. This is the first stand that I've actually used. The stand right here. I don't know if I'm using it right, but his feet really can't touch the ground. I mean, they are touching, but I mean by 1/100th of a millimeter. I mean, I move it any which way and it's going to wobble back and forth on the stand. It's like his legs aren't quite long enough. Also, too, I would have liked to have been able to bend his knee all the way up so he could put his foot up here on this top rail. Can't do it. So his flexibility is very limited. The backpack comes off really easily. The Wookiee braids look like doll hairs. Other than that, I mean, it's still a great figure. Or a figure. It's still a great figure. But I think for the $4.69 they could have made it better. Plus also too, they had a special edition which included a side pistol and holster. Now in the movie he didn't have one. At least in this particular scene he didn't have one. But if you got the special edition, you got that for free. Which maybe they could have just done without this extra thing on the box and then put the pistol in there. I don't know. Now on to the box design itself. People say, oh, it's a great box. No, it isn't. It fucking sucks. Excuse me for my language. So it has these side straps right here. So like this is like an outer box. And then this is your actual box that it comes in. So you first have to kind of take out one side and then kind of flip it on its side and let it shimmy out, so to speak, in order to get this big box, because this is a big box. So it's a really horrible design. It'd be better if they just had a regular large box that had like an open door type of mechanism or whatever you want to call it. So the box design is terrible. Terrible. Did I say terrible? Yeah, it's terrible. As far as the inside go, the packing is good. You know, they pack it good. You get the foam, you get the regular arms. No, not arms. You get the hands. You also get a broken sidearm. Guess that was after Luke chopped it in half. You get that as well. And then you get a few accessories that go into his pockets on his pants. Like that one right there. There's a few other ones as well. So overall, if you have a Star Wars collection, you're going to have to get them. I mean, you might not have to get the quarter scale, but you're going to get a 6 scale at least. And it is what it is. I mean, you can buy one probably for 20 bucks. It's made totally out of plastic at Walmart or something, but you're probably not going to be happy with that. And since you are a collector, you're going to want something a bit nicer. I just don't know if this was $4.69 a bit nicer. But there you go. If you have any questions or comments, I will show this one other time once I actually put it up on the wall. I kind of debated on whether or not to do this review with him on the wall. I just decided to take the shelf off. But there he is, Boba Fett. Again, if you want to see the Sarlacc, I still haven't added his other tentacle. But So far this is coming out pretty good. This is still a little bit, it's not, I can feel it's still kind of moist. Now it's hardened, but they say to give it like 24 hours. So it's only been like half a day. All I did is I mixed, well, you saw in the other part of the video, I did the moldacine plaster. I mixed it with some water, then added some sand. I didn't go off what it said as far as how much to put in of each. I just put in some, and when it looked right, I mixed it up and put it down. Alright, so that's the video. There's the review. It's not worth $4.69, but you probably already knew that. But he is going to look cool on my Star Wars wall nonetheless. Alright, I shall talk to you guys later, and have a fantastic week. Oh, don't forget to check out my other videos I put up today for the Death Star 3D Deco lighting. I did some modifications on that. I thought it came out pretty cool as well. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.